The Bible is full of mystery and adventure, supernatural happenings, epic voyages, and all kinds of strange food. I've been fascinated by these stories since childhood, so I decided to become a BI, Bible investigator. My big break came when I stumbled onto the BLURF, the Biblical Attitude Ultimate Resonance Fluctuator. It's a time machine, disguised as a cardboard box that can transport me back to biblical times, to investigate mysteries and adventures right when they happen. I've had a few adventures in my day. I just returned to my office from comparing battle stories with King David when my next escapade knocked on my door. Little did I know my biggest adventure was ahead of me.
Yoo-hoo! Bixby, it's me!
Babysitting. Oh, Sally, fantastic to see you, and how are you?
Actually, I can't talk right now. In fact, I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. See, I have an audition, and my nephew Jason, he doesn't really want to go. In fact, he doesn't really want to do anything. So I was wondering if he could stay here with you for a few hours.
Well, actually, I have a case right on a case.
Thank you so much. You are a doll. Jason, I will be back in a jiff.
Sally, Jason, is it? Sorry, I don't have a lot of things here for young boys. Do you like to read history books? I could juggle. History books. I know what'll excite you. We could take a little time travel trip back to biblical times. Maybe we could visit ancient Rome and, see the ruins before they're ruined. Look, I know that Rome is in ancient Italy. Maybe we could grab some pizza there or something.
Okay, fine. Let's go get a pizza.
That's the spirit, Jason. Now, go grab those goggles and we'll step into the BLURF.
The BLURF? Isn't that just a cardboard box?
Don't be deceived by its appearance. The BLURF, or the Biblical Attitude Ultimate Resonance Fluctuator, is a highly advanced technical machine. I use it to travel back into Bible times. And, as I've made some recent upgrades, you may be the first passenger to the BLURF 2.0. It's on the... Hopefully it works, all right? I don't know.
Sounds pretty boring. Can't we just skip the whole time travel part and just go get a pizza?
No, my boy. You're mistaken. We're traveling back to the big God story. A story about person after person who chooses the life of adventure that God calls them to. So, what do you think?
Okay, fine. Let's go.
As you say, put on the goggles and step into the BLURF. Maybe I just need to make some more new adjustments.
What's going on?
Jason, you're gonna need to hold on to something very sturdy. I think we're in for a bumpy landing. Jason? Jason!
Mr. Bixby, are you okay? It's me.
Where are you?
I think we crash landed. We're on the beach somewhere.
Oh no. No.
What is it?
Jason, I don't want to alarm you, but I think we're BLURF wrecked.
BLURF wrecked? Where in the world are we?
Well, I'm not so much afraid as where, but when. Here, let me check the BLURF and see how much damage she's taken. Oh no. Maybe if I bring her out in the sun to try a little bit. Now, if I just look at the angle of the sun, then I can figure out what century we're in.
I think we have visitors.
Halt! Who goes there? Hello, I'm Theodore Bixby, and this is my associate Jason. I'm afraid we've been shipwrecked.
shipwrecked. Where do you hail from? Are you citizens of Rome?
We're from America.
I've never heard of it.
Really, it's very far away. You have no idea. Don't worry, we won't harm you or anything. Can you just tell us where we are?
Theo!
Paul! Whoa! Oh, small world!
Yeah!
Woo!
Shipwrecked?
Yeah.
So are we. We just asked some natives where we are. We're on this island called Malta. Yeah, we're trying to figure everything out. You're more than welcome to join us.
Shipwrecked on Malta.
That's right.
Jason, we're in luck. I know exactly where we are. In Acts 27, Paul is shipwrecked on Malta on his way going to Rome.
There's a shipwreck in the Bible?
Yes, when people obey God's commands, there's no telling what adventures they'll be on. Thanks, we would love to join forces.
Okay. We've got to go get some wood before the sun sets. Say we're going to be back about 4 fingers or so. Why don't you guys just come with us?
Sure.
So, why are you handcuffed to that guy?
Well, you see, I'm a follower of the way, a believer of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. He came to me in a vision, and I went from someone who punished his followers, and I became one of his followers. Now, back in Jerusalem, they falsely accused me. But because I'm a Roman, I appealed to Caesar. So here we are, on our way to my trial in Rome.
And how did you get shipwrecked?
Well, we left a little too late in the year to have a good journey the entire way. But we were good for the first few legs of our trip, but as soon as we hit Fair Havens, man, I told everyone we should have stayed there for the winter, but somebody told us that we should keep going.
Okay, all right, Paul. You're right. Soon as we started, huge northeastern storm just completely devastates our boat. Cargo's flying off. Our food was completely gone. We were soaking wet and freezing cold the entire time.
Now, God said he would not let anyone on that ship die. And I believed him. Now, a couple of guys, they tried to hop into the lifeboat, but I cut it loose and I let it sail away. And they were forced to stay on our boat.
And eventually, like you said, we landed on the shore of Malta, and everyone that we've met, all the natives, they seem really hospitable, which is really, really good because we're probably going to have to survive the winter here.
Wow.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy. Definitely not boring.
Oh, we're going to need a lot more wood than this.
Yep.
So, Paul, you're saying that this Jesus guy died and then actually came back to life.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You see, Jesus defeated death once and for all.
It's a viper! Get it off! Get it off, it's a viper!
That was a Maltesian rock viper.
You're gonna die!
Well, if God really wants me to make it to Rome, not even a Maltesian rock viper can stop me.
That was pretty epic. I guess I never realized Bible stories were like action movies.
What's a Bible? What are movies?
Those are just words from the country that we're from. Jason, maybe we should go repair the blurf so we can ship so that we can leave tomorrow morning. Boy, what I wouldn't give for my tools right now. Jason, what do you have in your hand?
What? This? Well, I thought it was cool I was gonna give it back.
Jason, my boy! I usually don't like people taking my stuff, but you just took the one tool that would help me fix the blurf. The blurf recombobulator. Well, let's go home. Oh, hallelujah. We made it back. Oh, God.
Well, I gotta say, Mr. Bixby, that was pretty cool. Did Paul ever make it back to Rome?
Grab the Bible and turn to Acts 28 to find out what happened to Paul after we left him.
Well, it says here that he spent the winter on Malta and then made it back to Rome, where he was a prisoner of his own home for, 2 years.
He made the most of it, every minute of it. Every person that went through his house heard about God's salvation through Jesus.
Well, I gotta say, Mr. Bixby, the Bible's way more exciting than I thought it would be. But why would Paul want to follow Jesus if it meant being in prison and shipwrecked all the time?
Well, Jason, that's the thing. When you decide to follow Jesus, everything changes. When you find your identity totally in Jesus, it doesn't matter what happens to you. You're free to live the life of adventure that God calls you to. For Paul, that meant talking about Jesus every opportunity he had, even if it got him in trouble. It just meant that every conversation was a chance to talk about him. When he was in prison, he would talk to his guards about Jesus. When he was shipwrecked, he would talk to his passengers about Jesus. He even had plans to talk to Caesar about it. Caesar was a hard man to get to.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to check out more of these stories. Although, we never did get that pizza, and now I'm kind of hungry.
Yoo-hoo! I'm back! Oh, Jason, thank goodness you're here. I thought he might have left you in ancient Egypt or something.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, no biggie. We just got blurf-wrecked in ancient Italy.
Oh, how lovely. Blurf-wrecked? Blurf-wrecked? What did you? How could you? When did you? You know what? I don't even want to know. I brought you some pizza because I thought he might forget to feed you.
Oh, here you go.
You know what? Just keep it. Read more stories, and if you find any more adventures, then you can always come back here and we could step into the blurf.
Sounds good, and hey, thanks for the adventure.
Oh, all right. Tell me everything. Might as well find out sooner than later.
So we were riding in the blurf, correct? And we crashed, blurf wrecked, as he said earlier. And then we saw a centurion, and then we saw Paul, and then...
You met Paul without me?
Yeah, I was looking for pizza.